Hola, angels. You know, wow. It's interesting because when I am going deeper and deeper and deeper, what I can guarantee is you also are going deeper and deeper and deeper because we're one mind. And so I just thank you all for going deeper because it really is what the angelic realm wants for us. And I pulled today on ACIM now the two evaluations, and it's chapter 9. And I'll just give you the Cliff Note version of it. The two evaluations that we always have, they're ongoing, and our will is to choose between one or the other evaluation. And the one evaluation is how God and Holy Spirit sees us as love. The other evaluation is ego. It's real simple, just real simple. And someone was talking in one of the Zooms about, I remember it. They were talking about the monkey mind, which is ego. And somehow I flashed on, and I'm sure many can relate to this. When I used to have a kitchen, I had a drawer that I affectionately called the junk drawer. And in mind, we have the junk drawer that we call monkey mind. And it's where we throw all those fears that we don't want to deal with. We don't know how to organize them. We don't know where to put them. We throw them in the monkey mind junk drawer. And I invite all of us to open that drawer up and just let all that nonsense drop out. And the way you can do that is write, journal. Just journal about every fear you have and really allow yourself to drop into this. Because there's going to be so many subtle fears that are going to fall out of that monkey mind that we just live with because we're not even conscious it's there. It's like the junk drawer in the kitchen. You're not even conscious it's there until you open it up and you go, oh my God, what a mess. And you close it immediately. And I'm inviting you to start cleaning out that monkey mind drawer. It's like really get clear and just start writing every single fear that you possibly can allow up in this moment. Fear of not enough money, fear of parents, fear of children, fear of death, fear of pain, fear of suffering, fear of sickness, fear of weight gain, fear of, I'm just going through some of mine. Whatever it is, fear of getting older, fear of animals dying, that's a good one. Fear of well, I'm not going to, because that'll take us on a different tangent. But basically just allow the fears up and write them all down. And then I want you to just start taking them on. And sometimes it is just by reading them aloud, and Holy Spirit, help me see this one differently. Holy Spirit, help me see this one differently. But if there's one that really hooks you, spend some time with that. Maybe get more into detail about the fear. And I say this because, again, I have been so feeling Everybody is going deeper. I get it. I get it. I get it. And it's very exciting because this is the awakening of the planet. And I have to smile when I say that because I really don't even believe in planets anymore. I'm so far beyond planets. But it's really, it's like there's this consciousness that we call one mind. We're all a part of it. And within that one mind consciousness, there is more and more and more love available. That's what I'm aware of. And I just say that as we take on each separate little fear and truly work on it to see it differently, it just clears out more space for the love that we are to shine through. So this 2 evaluations thing that I pulled this morning on ACIM Now, it's small. It's like a couple, 3 sentences. But I really, I remember, I had it a lot here. In my more judgmental times, here at Namaste, people would share whatever they would share, which oftentimes included judgmental thoughts about one thing or the other. And in my more judgmental times, I would say, well, why don't you maybe choose to see that differently through love? And I was met with this response is quite familiar to me. I was met with this response of, oh, I'm not ready to deal with that. And I would go, okay, fine. So here is Jesus's comment about not wanting to deal with that. And this is kind of like not wanting to open the monkey mind drawer because, oh God, we know it's a mess. I don't want to go there. Why would I want to open that up? And this is Jesus's response to it. Every minute and every second gives you a chance to save yourself. Do not lose these chances, not because they will not return, but because delay of joy is needless. I'm going to repeat that. Delay of joy is needless. God wills you perfect happiness now. So if you find yourself unwilling to go into that monkey mind brain and really identify what's included in that drawer of fears, do not lose these chances, not because they will not return, but because delay of joy is needless. Open the drawer. Holding on to these fears that we just keep piling into a drawer going, oh, I'm not ready to deal with this. I'm not wanting to deal with this. Like open it up and allow it to pop out. You'll find that a lot of them, you can just laugh away because they really are so antiquated that you even know now they're antiquated. But it's like until you start clearing out these thoughts, and this is where really, really becoming a thought identifier. So if it does come up as, oh, like when you're meditating and all these thoughts hit you from every direction, maybe even meditate with a little pad of paper. And as these thoughts come up, jot them down, write them down. Doesn't have to be extensive, just write them down. Need to get dog food. Need to fill the car up with gas. Just write them down because all of those are thoughts that take us away from God. Really. And it's like, and that's what we don't want to delay any longer. We've delayed long enough. We've said, oh no, I'm not ready to deal with that. Well, it's time to deal with that, whatever that is. Everybody's that is different, but it's like we've got to be willing to just become these happy learners that embrace the fact that we have this junk drawer in our mind called monkey brain. And thank you for the person in Zoom that gave me that word. It was perfect. Really got me on a huge tangent. And it's like we need to clean the drawer out. I remember when I had the kitchen and oh, I'm pretty OCD. I would clean it out, maybe every couple of years. And when I'd clean out that drawer, I'd feel so great. And it was just, doesn't matter where I was or what I was doing, I'd have thoughts of, oh, I cleaned out that drawer. That feels fabulous. Happiness and joy were just a part of who I was because I cleaned out that kitchen drawer called the junk drawer. And the same thing can happen when you clean out that segment of your mind that we call monkey brain. It has all these thoughts. Oh my God. It can fill a lifetime and often does. And what I'm inviting you to do is open it up so you don't have to carry that stuff around up there any longer. You can truly clean it out. It doesn't need to be a part of your reality any longer. And this is what Holy Spirit and God want for us, is to clean out this nonsense. And it's not to, and this is, okay, and I helped many people clean out their kitchen junk drawers. I was very good at it. And when we do it, I notice, I'd say, okay, well, I think we can throw this out. And people go, oh no. Well, you have, at least 1,000 packets of little creamer or salt and pepper in here. Do you need all of them? Okay. And it's like when you're cleaning out the monkey mind, really be in contact with Holy Spirit, because Holy Spirit's going to be your little treasure to say, do you really need this fear? Does this fear really serve you? Are you using this fear? Well, no, but maybe I'll get into the point where I don't have enough money and then I have the need to fear not having money. It's like, let it go. Okay? Because none of that will ever serve you. And where you guys are now that have been doing the mind training is it's time to let go of some of these. You don't have to hang on to them any longer. It's like, I know we talked about a while ago, this feeling called worry. And really, if you sit with worry, you don't have to sit with it long. But it's kind of like having 1,000 little salt and pepper shakers in your drawer. It's like, does this really serve? Does it ever serve to worry? No. I mean, it's always in the future. Worry is always based in the future. And just that alone tells you, if you want to live in the present moment, you're not going to need this feeling called worry. Throw it out. And Holy Spirit will be the best guide for you on all this stuff that may come up. It's like, oh man, I hadn't thought of that in a while. I do fear the death of my parents, or well, parents, but I actually feared the death of my animals more than I feared the death of my parents. And it's like, and the reality is, honey, why don't you just enjoy them today? Why are you so living in the future? And so I invite you to really do some cleanup work in mind. And this is not to get trapped into, the other thing I was really looking at, again, I look at all this stuff for myself first. Okay. To see when we're not in a state of love. And I know I joined with many of you maybe about a week ago, and I had a lot of stuff coming up around not being kind, which is not being in a state of love. So when we're not in a state of love, when I see myself as apart from love, I'm not seeing myself, period, ever. That's truth. And so a part of my commitment is to truly see myself. So anytime this thought of I'm not being kind, which is one of those ones in my junk drawer. Ooh, I don't want to look at that one. I don't want to be not kind. Well, who says that that's even possible besides me? I know a lot of you shared with me, well, Calico, that's impossible. But it's like I didn't see it. And so I had to really get clear on it. And so I saw this I'm not being kind as true. When I start looking at, I really want to see myself truly. So I have to let this idea that I can be unkind ever go. It's part of my monkey mind. And that's what I mean is like cleaning up this ego. It will just create room for seeing yourself as the loving thought in the mind of God that you are. Truly. Period. No exceptions. But we don't usually see ourselves as that loving thought because we have too much other nonsense running around. Fear of who we might be, anger. Although that one's pretty much gone now. If I even have a little anger come up, I get red flagged pretty quickly. And I'm back into deep prayer with Holy Spirit to see it differently. Because I know that's not who I am. But I know it is a label I have created for myself since birth. You might even look at what labels do you label on yourself? Okay. Before I started doing mind training, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm completely confused, I'm not feeling a part of anything. I mean, those are all the beliefs that I had of myself, which can't be true. Because I truly do embrace that I'm a loving thought in the mind of God now. And that's why I said not too long ago, never, ever, and you may need to do this for other people. You certainly don't need to do it for me. Never worry about me, ever, ever. Because I feel so embraced by God. And if anything should come up that I have a little fear over, I'm going to God. I probably won't go to another human being. I go to God first because I've gotten so much positive response by, staying real close to God. I don't need a lot from the horizontal. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to just reread this thing from chapter 9 again. I'm going to read the whole paragraph. God's will is your salvation. Would he not have given you the means to find it? If he wills you to have it, he must have made it possible and easy to obtain it. Your brothers are everywhere. You do not have to seek far for salvation. Every minute and every second gives you a chance to save yourself. Do not lose these chances, not because they will not return, but because delay of joy is needless. God wills you perfect happiness now. And I got hit by, I'll just share it because it just slammed me. Your brothers are everywhere, because that's where our salvation is found, is in our brothers. And if they're triggering us, ooh, that's really great news. That's really great news, because that's like we are opening up what we call the monkey mind in the brain. Unless we just project back on them that they're, a waste of my time or whatever, but don't do that. Open up. If your brothers are everywhere and they're triggering something, use them to assist you in cleaning out the monkey mind brain. Because that's how most lessons come to us, is in the form of people, situations. Okay? So with that being said, I heard this from my friend Matt, and I'm going to start using it more. With that being said, we're going to say goodbye to all our YouTube people. Goodbye, YouTube people. It's time for another day of release. Woohoo! So with that, I'm going to turn off the recording.